Friday. This is Stan Houston for the Master Entrepreneur. Friday is always, at least in the thought, mind, and spirit of who we are, it's Future Day. That's when we can, if it's possible, to take away some of the everyday stuff and see if we can give a little more thought to the future. First of all, we're going to kind of clean things up for the week so that by Friday at 5, we have achieved the goals for the week. But if we've been good about that, we're close to that, and we can take some time to actually think about what next week might be about and how we can better think and prepare our hearts, our minds, our spirits, and our time for next week. And then perhaps to take a long, deep thought, maybe a prayer, maybe some meditation, maybe just sitting and thinking, what do I really want to achieve in my life? What should our business be about in the future? And perhaps if it's been a good week and things are giving you a little more time, you might even say, hey, I'll call in lunch for the employees today. And we're just going to take some time and think about how we can be better, do better, and have more fun as we do our work serving the people that we've been called to serve in the future. Friday is Future Day. So just kind of put that on the top of your head and think about it. Today, I'd like to talk about things that are part of my present reality, but they're also something that is vital to me, and it's something that might be in your future. And as I said, it's about your sacred space and your studio. Sacred space and studio. I've oftentimes said this, but when you think about something, things show up. And Steven Pressfield, who's a writer, and I kind of view him as a mentor because he will teach me how to be a better writer. And if I'm a better writer, which I'm not that good at, I'll be a better communicator and be what I'm really good at, a better broadcaster. Just this past week, Stephen wrote an article entitled A Sacred Space. Here's his story. Again, full attribution and full credit to Steven Pressfield. When I was 8 years old, my family spent part of a summer vacation visiting friends in New England. One of the grown-ups we spent time with was a painter. He had a big sunny studio out behind his house, just past trellises groaning under the weight of roses, and through a little wattle-type gate. I remember the artist's wife telling me and my brother, "Don't ever go in there without Peter's permission." Well, of course, Peter gave us permission all the time. He was happy to have kids around. Sometimes we would even take naps in the studio. One thing we were always careful of, though, was not to make noise and not to distract Peter when he was working. His studio was a sacred space. Later, when I studied martial arts, the sensei insisted that his students stop and bow as they crossed the threshold of the dojo, to him as our teacher and to the space itself. You see, it too was sacred. My own office is just a converted bedroom in my house. It's got nothing particularly esoteric about it, except maybe my lucky toy cannon that fires inspiration into me, or perhaps my lucky horseshoe from a Keeneland racecourse in Lexington, Kentucky. But it's a sacred space too. I've made it sacred by the work I do, and the work I've done there, and by the attitude of respect and devotion that I bring with me when I enter. Kids can come in, animals can hang out, but they have to be respectful too, as I and my brother were when we crossed the doorstep of Peter the painter's studio. My friend and mentor, David Leddick, tells of when he was a young ballet dancer in New York and how his teacher instructed her students before entering the studio where they were about to work. Leave your problems outside. And what she meant is leave your ego, leave your greed, leave your competitiveness with your rivals, leave your fear and your self-doubt and your lack of belief in yourself. Leave everything profane outside. In here, in this space where we work, there's no room for such stuff. Here, in some respect, the goddess dwells. Or at least, we hope she'll stop by. We must enter this space without dirt on our feet or mundane aspirations in our hearts. My Fred, Ed Hinman, feels the way about his gym. You see, he's a gonzo weight guy. And in fact, he's writing a book called Drawn to Iron, who sees resistance training the way yogis seek yoga, or renunciants seek a long, weak session. The word Ed uses is, it's his portal. I like that a lot. Through his space, Ed believes we pass by dint of effort and dedication and commitment into a nobler plane of reality. This is my world, too, and my attitude when I enter the converted bedroom that is my office and turn my little toy cannon so its muzzle faces me, ready to fire. Sacred space, and that's just one man's interpretation of what it might be like. But I have believed in that for some time, that you need to find a place, a space where you can do creative things, where your mind and spirit can come together and be more focused on what is truly important. Where, yes, God stops by all the time. In fact, there's almost something about the way I do the room and the things I put up that say, this is where I enjoy being. And it's much more than that man cave stuff. This is where I find the tools and the instruments and the things that I need to be creative, to be more thoughtful, to be more rested, to perhaps encounter a little bit of a special God event, my sacred space. And so there's the office at the office, the cubicle at the corporation. But if you want to have a good and great life, you'll probably need to find, and I hope you're looking for it, I hope you're discovering it, I hope you're creating it, a sacred space to do your life and to do your work. Just a few thoughts for Friday. Few thoughts for Friday about your sacred space. And then there's that studio deal. That's next. I'm Stan Houston, RadioEdge77@gmail.com, RadioEdge77@gmail.com, international broadcaster, business performance coach. I can help you become the master entrepreneur, and perhaps follow the master entrepreneur a little more closely, a little more nearly, and perhaps have a rather strange world experience about knowing him in new and different ways. We'll be back. I'm very clear about this, and I was disappointed when one of my friends who I've tried to help built a new building. He could afford to do that. And he told me about it, and I simply said, well, Jack, where's the studio? He said, what do you mean? I said, haven't you been listening? In today's world, every company is in the communication business, and you're going to have to be involved in audio work, video work. You're going to have to be using the mass market media and the internet digital media. So you need a place for the green screen. You need a place for the video production. You need a place where you can record audio and those kinds of marketing programs. Going forward, every company and every business will need a studio. It's a performance economy. Well, it turns out he listened to me, but no, they don't need that. Well, they don't think they do, but they will. And so what I'm actually saying to you, my friends, is I hope you, as you look at the 21st century and as you go into the year 2020, that you are not only finding that sacred space, but you are also looking and finding a way in your office, in your business, in your space, to not only have the sacred space, but the studio space. S2, S2, the studio space, because every business is in show business. Everybody has to be a performer. You can't just tell people what you do. You have to show them and describe how good you are. If you want to make your mark in the internet-connected, entrepreneurial experience economy, you're going to have to learn how to do radio and television and podcasting. You're going to have to learn how to do video and performance marketing. You're going to have to learn the performing arts, somewhat the science, but mostly the passion and the spirit of the man or woman who steps into the studio to create something new, unique, and different as a way of marketing themselves, showing their business to many people around the world, and then, of course, finding ways to even entertain, help, and make your clients and customers smile and come back to you and recommend you to others. So there you go, my friends. My name is Stan Husted. I'm a business performance coach. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a teacher, and I can help you build your business. I can get you on the radio. I can help you do a video channel which will attract people from all over the world. Your modern day business needs as a small business owner and entrepreneur, we can help you. And we, as a team of people around the world who follow the master entrepreneur, we're men and women of faith, and we're really good at what we do. And we know that we can do that in a way that will help you. Stan Husted is my name. TCENglobal.org. TCENglobal.org is where we hang out. You can really see a number of our shows. It's not a website. It's a stage. It's a stage where we show you who we are and what we can do. And it's full of life. It has energy. It has personality. It has audio. It has video. It doesn't have a lot of writing, but it certainly has a lot of connecting and showing and demonstrating and teaching. In fact, you'll even learn something from it. Going to our website will not only tell you about me, but it'll help you do you and do it much better. And that's the way it should be. Hey, we do want to help you, and so make sure, reach out to me at radioedge77@gmail.com. We'll be back. And we're just back to say blessings. Goodbye. No, blessings. The weekend is before you. There'll be a new week. We want you to be blessed. We want you to have wisdom. We want you to have courage. We want you to have kindness and share it with others. We want the very best that God has for you to come to you, starting right now, this weekend. A number of you are in pain. You need healing, and we will think and pray and ask for healing. We will find the wisdom to deal with some of the problems and the perplexities that are before us, and we will always seek to be kind. Again, my name is Stan Houston. I'll be glad to do whatever I can. Just tell me, how can I help you? All the best. Yes, of course, all the blessings. Till next time, which might be tomorrow, might be next week. We'll just kind of let the Spirit decide that for us. All the best and blessings, and bye for now.